Thanks for tuning in to the KRVN Sports Podcast page, your home for all of the local broadcasts produced by KRVN Sports. This page and the playback is brought to you by Hoegemeyer Hybrids, raising the bar on yield performance. For KRVN Sports, I'm Jayson Jorgensen. Kearney is once again hosting the six-man state championship football game on Friday night. Is undefeated, and state champion SEM gets set to take on Stewart. They'll try to hold them off again. I am joined by Bob Jensen of the Huskerland Prep Report as we talk about this one. Bob, thanks for the time. What's your early thoughts as SEM and Stewart collide for the state title?
Stewart's got a real shot to win. Stewart's got a real shot to win. A lot of respect for what's happened at Sumner, Coach Rasky. They've done a great job. This is history that they're writing. The Mustangs are, and they're certainly good enough to win too. The first time they played, it was a 3-point game. I could see something like that again. I could also see Stewart never trying to kick an extra point. That did not go well in last year's state final. So I don't know. It could very well come down to that. It's just simply who makes the most conversions, because these two teams, to me, are dead even. And there's a lot of star power on both of them. So it'll be a great game to watch. And the other thing is, Kearney can't help itself. It always does a great job at hosting this event.
Yeah, I did the state quarterfinal last year up in Stewart when SEM beat Stewart, and you could kind of tell at the time that was not going to be the final meeting between these two, and each have just kind of hung in there and done their thing, and certainly the best two teams in this class. Yeah,
I agree with that 100%. I mean, they're the state champion finalists for a reason. Teams, it's going to be a great game to watch.
You mentioned before, what's your thoughts on Kearney hosting this? I think they've done a great job, and Cope Stadium is a great place for the six-man title game.
Oh, it's perfect. I mean, honestly, there's some character to the surroundings, because the stadium's just the right size. It isn't like it's full, but there's a lot of people. And if you ever doubted the appeal of six-man, just look in the stands. Those people are not all going to be from SEM or from Stewart. A lot of rubbernecking, a lot of people coming just to watch good football. And doesn't matter how many guys are on the field. Six-man, you get to the final, you got good football.
I know they had a huge crowd last year in Kearney, and I have to figure there was probably some FKC brethren there who were cheering on the Mustangs.
Right on. Yeah, that part too. But again, a lot of respect for SEM. I love that kind of story, and it's just the whole school right now, their whole athletic program is at such high tide. But somebody from Sumner had better find a way to cover Ben Paxton. Remember that name on Friday night. He's a receiver for them, and the kid's really good.
And how about when SEM gets the ball, Coach Huskerland, since he's been in charge, nothing fancy. You know where it's coming. You just have to find a way to stop it.
No, you can't. I mean, that's just it. You can't stop it. Maddox, just is, it wouldn't matter any of the smaller school divisions, classes. He'd be really good, and he's superb carrying the ball at the six-man level. And I'm a huge fan of Cohen Rohde. I love the attitude. He came up so big in last year's state final. Like I said, there is star power in this game, and I don't know. Sumner Eddyville Miller, really good football team.
And for those of us who are old enough to remember that in the years that SEM struggled in football, to me, that's what's got to make this more special the last 3 years for that school.
Oh, yeah. And we've had some of that in different classes, too, programs that have kind of risen up. I mean, that's just it. All the other sports are great, and all the other school activities are great. I'm for all of them. I was in a lot of them, but there's nothing that brings the community together like a great football team. And right now, Sumner Eddyville Miller, they're pretty great.
The thoughts there of Bob Jensen of the Huskerland Prep Report. So Friday night in Kearney, Cope Stadium, state championship matchup, SEM against Stewart. If you can't be there, we will have the broadcast for you on 880 KRVN and at krvn.com. Our coverage will start at 6:35 and kick off at 7. For KRVN Sports, I'm Jayson Jorgensen.